Good morning, my dear students. Welcome back to the online IIT class. So today we are going to discuss about thermometry and calorimetry. This is our lesson 2. So main objectives from this lesson are thermal expansion of solids. So these are three types: linear expansion and superficial or aerial expansion, and third one cubical expansion. These are three types from thermal expansion of solids. This is our synopsis 1. So first our question is, what is thermometry? Here thermometry is nothing but the study of science related to measurement of temperature. The study of science related to measurement of temperature is called thermometry. What is thermometry? The study of science related to measurement of temperature is called thermometry. Next, temperature is basically a measure of degree of hotness, coldness of a body. Here temperature is basically a measure of the degree of hotness or coldness of a body. So next our topic, thermal expansion. What is thermal expansion? So it is a process when a body expands in either area, volume or shape when heated. It is a process where a body expands when heated. The changes occurred in area or volume of the given body.
What is thermal expansion? When you can't open a tight jar, it is recommended that you place it under hot water for a minute. The metal lid will expand because it heats up and won't be so tight anymore. Now, you can open it easily.
These are some important points. Here the size of the substance is nothing but body. Increase on heating or decrease on cooling. Increase on heating, decrease on cooling. Here the size of the substance, increase on heating, decrease on cooling. Size of the substance.
Did you know that the wing panels of high-speed aircraft, when on ground, fit together so loosely that fuel may leak out of the wings? But once it starts flying with a speed equal to 3 times the speed of sound, the panels expand to make a perfect fit. The expansion of solids is due to change in interatomic separation.
Next one, thermal expansion is reversible, means so it expanded, body returns to its original position on cooling. Here thermal expansion is reversible, means it gains its original position on cooling. When it expands on heating, it gains its original position on cooling.
In a thermometer, mercury is an example of expansion in liquids. When we increase the temperature, the mercury starts to expand.
And separate from heat, mercury gets initial position. This is third point. The thermal expansion is 3 types basically. First one, expansion of solids, expansion of liquids, expansion of gases. Today our topic, we are going to discuss about expansion of solids.
Body expands in either area, volume, or shape when heated. Thermal expansion occurs in solids, liquids, and gases.
A completely filled and tightly capped bottle of water cracks when it is heated due to the expansion of water molecules.
Even when iron is exposed to heat, it expands. These are all the effects of thermal expansion.
Here some important points on thermal expansion of solids. Generally all solids expanding on heating. Generally all solids are expanding on heating. So here second point, thermal expansion is minimum in solids compared to liquids and gases. Why? Because in these solids intermolecular forces are maximum. In the solids, intermolecular forces are maximum. That's why it is always expansion is minimum in solids as compared to liquids and gases. They will be vibrating. Intermoleculars are vibrating about their mean position. When they are heated, amplitude of vibration is increases. It causes expansion of solids. Here the vibrating elements are intermolecules. Here vibrating elements are intermolecules.
Let us try to understand thermal expansion qualitatively on the basis of molecular theory. Let us visualize the forces between the neighboring atoms in a solid by imagining them to be connected by springs that are easier to stretch than to compress. Each atom vibrates about its equilibrium position. When the temperature increases, the energy and amplitude of the vibration also increase. The interatomic spring forces are not symmetric about the equilibrium position. They usually behave like a spring that is easier to stretch than to compress. As a result, when the amplitude of vibration increases, the average distance between molecules also increases. As the atoms get farther apart, their dimension increases.
This solids expansion is always less than compared to liquids and gases. Here basically solids are two types. First one is isotrophic solids and second one anisotrophic solids. Here isotrophic solids means thermal expansion is same in all directions. In anisotrophic solids, thermal expansion is different in different directions. Thermal expansion is different in different directions. In the isotrophic, thermal expansion is same in all directions. So, isotrophic solids examples are glass and plastic. Here, isotrophic solids examples are glass and plastic. And anisotrophic solids examples are all crystalline solids. So, anisotrophic solids examples are all crystalline solids. So, these isotrophic solids are shows an increase in its length, so area and volume. Isotrophic solids are shows an increase in length, area and volume.
First, let's consider solids. When a solid is heated, it expands in size and shape, resulting in an increase in length, area, or volume of the solid. This is known as a thermal expansion of solids.
So, this is our first one, length expansion. It is nothing but linear expansion. So, it is also called as one-dimensional. The linear expansion is one-dimensional expansion. So, in the first case, just see this diagram. In the first case, temperature is T1 and length is L1. The length of the iron bar is L1. So, the temperature of this bar is T1. Here, temperature is T1, length is L1 in first case. In the second case, here temperature is T2. The iron bar temperature is T2 and length of the iron bar is L2. Here the changes between L1 and L2 is delta L. So means temperature of the metal rod is raised to T1 to T2. Here the temperature of the metal rod is increased to T1 to T2. So the length is also increased to L1 to L2. Then L2 minus L1 means length of the second rod minus length of the first rod. Difference is delta L. So that is directly proportional to L1. Here L2 minus L1 is directly proportional to L1. Changes between L1 and L2 is directly proportional to length of the first bar L1. This is our first equation. In the second one, L2 minus L1 is directly proportional to T2 minus T1 means, so length of the second bar, the difference between the length of the two bars is directly proportional to temperature. So changes in length is directly proportional to changes in temperature. So here resultant expansion is based on actual length of the rod. Here resultant expansion is based on actual length of the rod. Actual length is here L1. So changes in length is directly proportional to changes in temperatures. From these two equations, L2 minus L1 is directly proportional to L1, and second one, L2 minus L1 is directly proportional to changes in temperature, T2 minus T1. So from these two equations 1 and 2, we can write L2 minus L1 is directly proportional to L1 into T2 minus T1. Here alpha is the temperature coefficient. We can remove this proportionality constant by using this alpha constant. So here L2 minus L1 is equals to alpha into L1 into T2 minus T1. So here temperature coefficient value alpha is equals to, transpose these terms. So L2 minus L1 by L1 into T2 minus T1. This is the final result. This is temperature coefficient. Alpha value is different from metal to metal. This alpha value is different from metal to metal. Let's take one of the example. The problem is depending on temperature coefficient alpha. So here first question, find the temperature coefficient of iron bar when L1 is initial length is 100 centimeters and temperature is T1 at first instance is 0 degrees centigrade, comma temperature T2 instance is second instance 100 degrees centigrade temperature, and second instance length is L2 100.1 centimeters. Substitute these values in our formula. Alpha is equals to L2 minus L1 by L1 into T2 minus T1. Changes in length by changes in temperature. Delta L by means changes in length by L1 into changes in temperature, that is delta T. So that is equals to 100.1. L2 is 100.1. Here 100.1 minus L1 is 100. Here L1 is 100 by L1 is again 100 into T2 is 100 degrees centigrade. T1 is 0 degrees centigrade. Here substitute these values. So result is 100 point minus 1 minus 100 is equals to 0.1 by here 100 into again 100. So that is equals to 0.1 into 10 power minus 4. So 0.1 into 10 power minus 4, we should write this result as a multiplier of 10 power minus 6. So that is equals to, we can take rationalize this 0.1. So that is equals to 100 divided by 100 into 10 power minus 4, that is equals to, here 0.1 into 100 divided by 100 value is 10, divided by 100 means 10 power minus 2, 10 power minus 2 into 10 power minus 4 is 10 power minus 6 by temperature coefficients units are per degree centigrade. Here this per degree centigrade or centigrade inverse. So final result is alpha is equals to, temperature coefficient is equals to 10 into 10 power minus 6 per degree centigrade. Here the temperature is in denominator. Here is also temperature units are in denominator, means per degree centigrade. This is the final result. My dear children, these questions as your homework. The problem based on coefficient of temperature. So here, which of the following results is correct? This is formula based on temperature coefficient. Which one is correct? We have to choose correct one. In third one, the SI unit. SI means standard international. CGS means centigrade gram second units of temperature coefficient is. Here this is Kelvin inverse, this is centigrade inverse. This is centigrade, this is Kelvin, and radians. Third one option is radians, and fourth one is 1 by centigrades and 1 by Kelvin. First one is SI, second one is CGS. So both are same, but CGS and SI units are different from each other. Okay, my dear children, if you have any doubts, please contact my number. Thank you.